and welcome to this edition of the Native News Update on this Tuesday, December 21st. I'm your host for today's program, Paul DeMain. And many of the stories read here can also be found at our website at IndianCountryNews.com. And here are some of the news stories for the day from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. 2 Yakama Nation tribal members were sentenced to 6 months in federal prison for killing and selling bald and golden eagles. Alfred L. Hawk and William R. Wasaisi, both in their 20s, pled guilty to taking, selling, and transporting eagles. They were sentenced December 10th in federal court in Yakama, Washington. Prosecutors say they killed more than 100 eagles around the reservation. The Yakama Herald-Republic reports the men relied on subsistence hunting to feed themselves, but they are now barred from possessing guns. Las Vegas entertainer Wayne Newton flashed his perfect smile, and 5 men dressed as Santa Claus parachuted from the sky December 13th to help open a new casino in rural Mississippi. Excuse me, that might have been on December 20th, on Monday, it says. The Homa Casino is owned and operated by the Mississippi Band of Choctaw. The tuxedoed Newton said, and it's with great honor that I join my brothers and sisters from the Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians in saying welcome to the newest star on the horizon. Traffic backed up for more than an hour on 2-lane roads leading to the 27,000 square foot casino, which is about the size of a large suburban grocery store and does not have glitzy lights outside. With sunny skies and temperatures in the low 50s, about 400 people stood in a brisk breeze and waited to get in. As the Santas drifted down from the sky on red and white and blue parachutes, 4 Choctaw youngsters ages 3 through 5 jumped up and squealed, "Santa, and Santa, and there's another Santa, and there's another Santa." The southern Utah site where Mormons massacred the members of a 19th century Arkansas wagon train is on its way to becoming a National Historic Landmark. During November, a National Park Service Advisory Board subcommittee voted unanimously to recommend a petition to elevate the Meadows Massacre site to landmark status. Park historians Liza Wegman-French said, "A rolling 2,500-acre valley about 30 miles north of St. George, the Mountain Meadows site is already on the National Register of Historic Places, but its story carries the kind of historical heft that makes it a good candidate for landmark status," Wegman-French has said. On September 11th, 1857, 120 men, women, and children from the Baker-Fancher wagon train were attacked and killed at Mountain Meadows by Cedar City area church and militia leaders. The Arkansas-based travelers were bound for California when their stopover in the Meadows turned deadly. The valley includes several mass grave sites and 2 monuments. For decades, Mormon church leaders downplayed its role in the killings and instead laid the blame on the area's American Indian tribes. Health and Human Services Secretary Kathleen Sebulus met for the first time with members of the newly established Secretary's Tribal Advisory Committee and signed the department's revised tribal consultation policy. The policy will be implemented in January of 2011. "We're very pleased to have been able to create this advisory committee. The leaders around this table are a representative group of Indian countries," said Sebulus. "You work day in and day out to meet the health and human service needs of your communities and know those needs better than anyone else." During the meeting, committee members and the Secretary discussed setting priorities that will deliver tangible results in Indian country. Some of the topics discussed included improvement of delivery of preventative care services to close the health disparities gap for American Indians and Alaskan Natives, working together more effectively to provide social services to families, provide additional technical assistance for and better access to federal grants, and promote government-to-government relationships with each other in the tribes. Chief Kirk Francis of the Maine's Penobscot Indian Nation is praising the U.S. decision to reverse course in support of the United Nations Declaration defending the rights of indigenous peoples. Francis says the announcement last week opens a new dialogue to start to talk about our federal relationship and provides a template on how Native people are to be treated. While it's not legally binding, President Barack Obama told Native American leaders that the declaration affirms the importance and cultures of Native people throughout the world. Jeff Divenbacher Kroll is executive director of the Maine Indian State Tribal Commission. He tells the Bangor Daily News that it's good news for Maine tribes, but he says it's sad that the United States was the very last country to sign on to the declaration. The Forest County Potawatomi Community of Wisconsin is installing a broadband internet system on their Forest County, Wisconsin reservation lands that will allow tribal members living on the reservation and local residents living near the reservation access to broadband internet. The completed network will have the ability to deliver broadband internet to nearly 200 households with the capability to deliver speeds of up to 1.5 megabytes MB. Presently, broadband options are limited, and most tribal members only have access to dial-up internet or no internet access at all. To provide the new broadband access, several 180-foot radio towers will be constructed. System installation began in October and is expected to be completed by July of 2011. Once completed, the system will allow local residents living near the reservation the ability to purchase broadband internet service that was not previously available there. In the future, the system may be expanded to serve a greater part of Forest County and other areas of northern Wisconsin as well. From expanding educational opportunities to helping families keep in touch, constructing the system will allow tribal members and local residents to have better access to information which can improve the quality of their lives, said Potawatomi Tribal Chairman Gus Frank. And that is the latest roundup of news from Indian Country. On this edition of the Native News Update, we want to say miigwech for showing up. Come back again soon.